Coming up on First at 4, pawn shop records lead to the arrest of a Pineville man in a burglary investigation. And a truck carrying flammable liquid overturns on a bridge in Whitley County, leading to evacuations.
And soggy weather returns tonight and sticks around for the entire work week. First at 4 is next.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, after several months of investigating at least 2 home burglaries in Bell County, one man is now behind bars and more charges are expected. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds is in Pineville with more.
Police here in Bell County have been looking into that burglary investigation for the last 4 months. Now, thanks to meticulous pawn shop records, they now have one man behind bars at the Bell County Detention Center. When Dwight King came to visit the home he owned off Highway 119 on September 23rd, he found the back door and basement window broken into. He noticed several things were stolen, including a 14-karat gold class ring that was valued at more than $700 and several guns. When looking at pawn shop records, those items were brought in along with Jackie Howard Jr.'s driver's license, social security number, and address, which ultimately led to his arrest on January 24th.
Started checking in that pawn shop. It was Pineville pawn shop. He had located his class ring again with the very distinct markings. Immediately noticed it was his. Now, he didn't reach out to law enforcement when he located this. He just went ahead and purchased the property back.
Now, through the investigation here in Bell County, they also were led to a Harlan pawn shop where they expect to make at least one more arrest connected to this case. For now, in Bell County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Tonight at 6, we'll talk to the homeowner who says there is clear evidence on who was in his home during the second break-in. Officials say a fire destroyed a house in the Browns Fork community of Perry County late last night, but that's not all. Police are investigating. WYMT's Katie Cook was at the scene earlier today and joins us from the newsroom with more on that. Katie?
Steve, the cause of the fire is not known at this time, but an arson investigator was at the scene today. I talked to multiple neighbors. They said when they got home last night, the house was burned. There are several cars near the burned house that appear to have broken windows. Officials say they are not sure if this is related to the fire investigation.
Trooper Ronnie Long was called to the scene. Once he responded, he advised post of what he had found, which was a house engulfed in flames, and requested assistance from one of our arson investigators.
There is no word yet on any injuries caused from the fire, and this is a developing story. We hope to have more information on WYMT at 6.
Hopefully you got out and enjoyed the past couple of days, because as we head into the next several ones, soggy weather returns and sticks around for quite some time. We'll go ahead and take you to those cameras where we've kind of just seen those partly to mostly cloudy skies throughout the day. You can see that on our UVA-wise camera. Looking on top of Buffalo Mountain, clouds becoming a little bit thicker as we head into tonight. And yes, those rain chances do return tonight, but check out those temperatures. Upper 60s to lower 70s, feeling a lot more like April and February. I know a lot of us not complaining about that. Now, we do continue those mild temperatures, but it's the rain chances that we're going to have to keep an eye on over the next couple of days. Lower 50s tonight, so still on the warmer side, and those soggy rain chances returning much later tonight and as we head into tomorrow. So you still have time to get out and enjoy those really nice temperatures right now, but very soggy conditions on the way as we head into the next several days. We'll see rain chances become a little bit lesser by the end of the week, but also could be talking about snow by the end of the week as well. I'll have more on that coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Paige, thank you. A tractor trailer carrying a flammable liquid ran off a Southern Kentucky road and overturned on a bridge. It happened on Buck Creek Road off US 25 in Whitley County. Some people were even forced to leave their homes, but all of those people can return now. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on what happened.
It was very early this morning around 6 o'clock when a Snyder transportation tanker was actually supposed to be heading to Richmond carrying a chemical used in the manufacturing industry when something caused him to actually come south of Williamsburg. We are told by officials the man's GPS told him to come this way, and he crashed trying to turn around. The accident happened around 5 miles south of Williamsburg, and it resulted in some of the 5,000 gallons of butyl acrylate spilling. That's a chemical used to make everything from paper to plastic. Officials say that it's also flammable, and as a precaution, there were 4 homes evacuated. The tanker went off the bridge and onto a CSX railroad, leaving the cab hanging on the bridge. Officials say the driver was simply not able to get around the bridge.
When he got up on the bridge, why he didn't stop, I don't know, but he caused his trailer to go over.
The families that were told to leave out of precaution were allowed back in their homes around noon today. In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
Officials say there was not a danger of the fumes spreading to cause a wider evacuation, as the chemical usually stays low to the ground. The Senate impeachment trial is winding down nearly a month and a half after the House voted to impeach President Donald Trump on charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. White House defense lawyers blasted the charges against the president as partisan as they made their closing arguments for acquittal, while House managers made a final plea for senators to remove the president from office.
This entire campaign of impeachment that started from the very first day that the president was inaugurated was a partisan one.
We must say enough. He has betrayed our national security, and he will do so again. He has compromised our elections, and he will do so again. You will not change him.
President Trump called the proceedings a, quote, totally partisan impeachment hoax on Twitter today. The vote to acquit or remove the president from office is Wednesday afternoon. The first contest of the 2020 presidential election will be held tonight in Iowa, and polls show it is a tight race among the top Democratic candidates. A CBS News poll shows former Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Bernie Sanders are tied as the voters' first choice with 25% each. Pete Buttigieg is close behind, followed by Senators Elizabeth Warren and Amy Klobuchar.
I like the attention that we have here in Iowa. I like that people pay attention to what we have to say and what we care about.
Republicans also hold caucuses tonight. President Trump dispatched surrogates to the state ahead of the vote. And coming up at 5:30, our national political analyst Greta Van Susteren will be talking about the Iowa caucuses and more. That's coming up at 5:30. President Donald Trump is set to give his annual State of the Union address tomorrow night. In the primetime speech, the commander-in-chief will focus on prosperity and issues affecting America's working families. A senior administration official told reporters President Trump's remarks will, quote, lay out a vision of relentless optimism. The official said the president will encourage Congress to work with him to continue building an inclusive economy. One person is dead in California after a shooting on a Greyhound bus early this morning. Investigators say 6 other passengers were injured in the shooting. Officers with the California Highway Patrol say the shooter was also a passenger. The shooting happened on Interstate 5 as the bus was carrying about 40 people from Los Angeles to San Francisco. Police say the person who died was a woman. The 5 surviving victims are all hospitalized. ISIS claimed responsibility for a stabbing attack in London over the weekend, and British police are releasing new details about the suspect. Investigators say Sudesh Aman stabbed 2 people on a busy street in South London yesterday. The 20-year-old was recently released from a London prison halfway through his 3-year sentence. He was convicted for publishing graphic terrorist videos online and stockpiling instructions on bomb-making and knife attacks. Police say Aman was an ISIS supporter and even encouraged his girlfriend to behead her parents. The stabbing victims are expected to survive. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Monday afternoon. The Dow closes up today more than 143 points. Straight ahead on First at 4, half a century. That's how long fans of the Kansas City Chiefs had to wait for a Super Bowl victory. Find out how they are reacting to the big win next.
And we'll see pockets of heavy rain over the next several days. How much is expected to fall? I'll answer that coming up.